Okay, so hello everybody. So the topic of my presentation is identity development of an art educator in the new media age. My research topic is the practice of artography through visual journaling. And today I want to focus on sharing my journaling process on YouTube. So first of all, let's talk about what is artography. So it's a flexible and creative switch between three different identities. So being an art educator, I am also an artist, a researcher, and teacher. So ART made up artography. So these three roles are interconnected and always actively engaging with the world. And this image is one of the published books on artography. So basically, it's about the rendering of self through arts-based living inquiry. And moving on, what is visual journal? So it is a way to trace lived experiences and construct identity. It is to create knowledge through reflection and art making. It is to allow chance to determine the elements of artwork, and there's meaning beneath the surface of art making, according to the research of Dr. Anita Sena from Concordia University. And this image is one of my art journal pages. And moving on, how do artographers establish their identities? Is to be in the process of living a life deeply, to engage in aesthetic inquiry, such as paying attention to the sensual, tactile, and unsaid aspects of life. This process is fluid, uncertain, and temporal. In other words, there's no fixed way to engage in inquiry. We need to be always ready to be in new situations and possibilities, according to the research of Dr. Springay and other academics. And here I will play a clip from my YouTube videos. My identity development through the practice of artography. So how do I keep engaging with the world during the months of self-isolation? I have been posting videos on YouTube on a weekly basis and using this online platform to establish new meanings as an artist, teacher, and researcher. And these are the pages from my visual journal. And the next page. As an artographer on YouTube. So moving on, I want to put these three roles, artist, teacher, and researcher, into the concept of artography. So in my YouTube videos, I am showing viewers more than the process of drawing and painting in my journals. So in the videos, I have clips before and in between my journaling process, showing my surroundings, such as the views outside my windows and my cup of tea. In this way, I have successfully created a sense for the viewers to be with me. And moving on, so these are some of the comments I got from users of YouTube. And one of the viewers have commented, I felt like we were having tea together at your table while you were painting. So in the practice of artography, it's very important to make connections with others. As artists, we're not isolated beings, but part of the world, part of the flow. So my audiences are giving new interpretations to my work and giving new meanings to my identities. And an artographer often questions, what is knowledge? Basically, it's a practice of artography is to help ourselves and others to reflect on ways of knowing and being in artistic ways. Springay and other academics have suggested that knowing or knowledge creation is not only in explanations and rationales, but can also be derived through one's senses and intuition. And now let's think together. What is knowledge? The way we perceive knowledge speaks about our identities. Many educators suggested that our ways of knowing can evolve from time to time with new meanings generated in new life experiences. And we are often not aware of this. Sometimes our eyes are seeing but not consciously noticing. Therefore, the researchers of artography insisted that we need to keep reflecting on our ways of knowing and being to perceive those seen and unseen knowledge through living and creating. And here is one of my visual journal pages. Creating knowledge on YouTube. My experience of creating YouTube videos has been a learning journey for me to reflect on the visible and invisible knowledge. I am always inquiring, what other knowledge can I offer other than visible techniques, and how? In the practice of of artography. The creative journey is not a smooth road with a foreseeable end. There are always struggles and complications. However, it is through the adversities that we find new openings, new possibilities for our creations, and keep refreshing our identities, according to the research of Dr. Springay and other academics. And here I'm going to play a video. Identity is interpreted in multiple ways online as we face a wide range of audiences and factors that influence how our self-images are being perceived. On YouTube, the cover image of each video plays a crucial role in speaking about identities. So this keeps me to engage in the practice of artography. I am always curious about what my audience are expecting to see. So I often ask myself questions to search for deeper meanings and interrogate assumptions. So what I think is important may not be of interest for the audience, and the audience may not know what kind of experience they need. So these situations make me to live a life of inquiry, active engagement, and discomfort. So in other words, the process of inquiry, in this process, there's nervousness and reverberation. There's difficulty and tension. After all, new meanings and knowledge can emerge from this continuous process. Examine my own identity as an outsider. So sharing life and work on YouTube has been a new way for me to understand my identity in a different lens. In other words, I'm looking at my videos as a viewer, standing outside of my reality. As the Brazilian educator Paulo Freire suggested, we're getting closer to ourselves when we step outside of the experience of daily life. On the other hand, my journaling process is no longer a private and isolated activity, but reaching out and engaging with the world. And this echoes with the concept of artography. As Springay and other academics stated, it is a methodology involving the arts and education, like an unstitched thread reaching out into new beginnings. So my creative process becomes active and responsive, paying attention to what is seen and known and what lies beneath the surface. And showing my visual journal process on YouTube is a way to embody my identity. There's embodiment of everyday life in my YouTube videos, more than mere instructions on how to draw and paint. For instance, in my vlog videos, I show the process of cooking a dish before sketching it in my journal. I'm trying to communicate that my artistic process comes from a life experience, not just mechanical actions on paper. While many artists and art teachers these days are creating and teaching from reference photographs, I would like to accentuate the importance of contemplating and meditating in real life experiences in my videos. So overall, I'm trying to establish a new kind of identity as an artist, researcher, and teacher in my YouTube videos. And here is an image of my YouTube profile page. So I have to work with an algorithm to define my work. Every single video has to have a unique title in order to reach more audience. When giving a title, it is time for me to introspect about the process filmed and think about the essence of my process, and then assign it a title not only attractive, but meaningful in a way that defines my identity without over exaggeration. So 2 example titles are, number 1, how to sketch your meal fast, and 2, how do you sketch if you only have 20 minutes a day? So I'm trying to illustrate my identity by playing with words and imagery. And finally, my next step is a thesis paper. So finally, I would like to mention that for my master's thesis paper, I will be researching about visual journaling, incorporating the concept of artography, including a collective workshop with colleagues. I will be using a number of research methodologies such as narrative inquiry, case study, and visual autoethnography. Dr. Anita Sena, whom I mentioned earlier in my presentation, have researched about art journals. She's my thesis supervisor. She has encouraged me to expand the research of this topic. And that's it. Thank you so much for your attention.